Hey there, guys. Zelda42293. Welcome to another episode. Uh, this episode, we're going to continue into the Victoria route. Last episode, we found out that, wow, she is pardon my language, but she is a bitch. Uh, let's go ahead and continue on. I believe this is, Wednesday. When I choose to work with Victoria, I don't think it would be mean that I didn't think it would be mean that I'd have to work around my sleeping schedule. What I mean is that today at 8 a.m., I had been woken up by someone's insistent knocking at the door. And when I had finally managed to force myself up, I found a fully dressed Victoria Chase standing at my door. If I didn't feel dorky in my oversized Back to the Future t-shirt and hot dog shorts while I was in bed. Oh, Max. I definitely did then in the face of Victoria's designer cashmere sweater and glittering gold jewelry. Luckily for me, it seemed like the morning hours had dulled down Victoria's desire to taunt me. All she did was demand I get dressed and meet her in the parking lot. That's how I ended up back in Victoria's car too early in the morning, trying to will my empty stomach to not growl in her presence. At the same time, I was kind of nervous as to where we were heading. And then I was just confused when we ended up downtown. Are you hungry? Victoria, for the first time this whole morning, suddenly questions, shifting the gear into park and turning the engine off with swift fingers. I find myself pausing for a moment, and she makes this face at me and clears her throat. Sorry, I'm still a little sleepy. Aren't we all? Does that mean you're hungry or not? Yeah? I don't know about Victoria, but I'm kind of starving. When she came to get me, I didn't even have enough time to grab a bite to eat. I also didn't think she'd eaten either, but I'm not sure about that one. She might have gone to eat with her Vortex Club lackeys before coming to get me. Anyways, what's the worst she can say? I'm just being honest. Yeah, I'm pretty hungry. Good. I tilt my head in confusion at the statement. Victoria glances at me and waves me off. Because I'm hungry too. Jesus, Max. My stomach betrays me just then, growling way too loudly. I feel my face going hot, all the way up to the tips of my ears. Victoria's still watching me, and then she actually has the audacity to smirk smugly at me. Tactful, Max. It sounds like you have a fucking monster in there. I groan it and slide down the seat, or at least I try to. Seatbelt kind of ruins the effect. Who knows when you would have woken up? I can't have you wasting time. The longer you sit here, the longer we go without food. Victoria opens the door, stepping outside. It prompts me to do the same, and when I do, I'm kind of awestruck by our location. It might sound lame, but I don't come downtown often. There's something about this place that reminds me of a smaller version of Seattle, definitely less polished and less clustered. Still, it's a step up from the barren streets of Arcadia Bay, and it looks like Victoria's taken us to the nicer side of town. Wowzers. Victoria hums appreciatively. What are we doing here? Do I seriously have to explain everything to you? I shoot Victoria a look, frowning again. No, you don't, but it would be nice to know. I was thinking about our shoot, and this should be obvious. Victoria, as she walks and talks, seems to be smirking over each of the shops. I do the same, following her gaze as it runs over the glass windows. Oh man, everything looks so ritzy. We should make an actual effort to prepare. I don't want to be aimlessly pointing my camera around like a goddamn idiot, hoping to get the perfect shot. So I'm going to start by making sure you're not pathetically unprepared for this. What's that supposed to mean? I quirk my brow at her. She gestures vaguely to my clothes with a swipe of her hand. That means I'm going to get you in something presentable for once. You might like to parade around with the fashion sense of a 5-year-old, but I could stand to see you in better clothes for our shoot. Whoa, okay. I actually feel a little defensive over that. I like my jeans, and this is my favorite dope t-shirt. Hey, there's nothing wrong with my jeans and graphic tee. Not everyone can afford to drag out their Gucci shirt with a booty-on jacket. Victoria makes this noise, followed by a short laugh. You did not just say that. Jesus, no wonder you're such a fashion wreck. I almost pout at her, and then it kind of clicks. Wait. You're actually going to photograph me? The thought slips out of my mouth before I can stop it, and it makes me feel a little uneasy. But on top of that, it makes butterflies flutter in my stomach. Victoria Chase doesn't use anyone for her shots. What? Well? You're bound to show up in them anyways, Max. It's not like I'm trying to actively photograph you or anything. Oh, right, sorry. I just thought you'd want me out of your way. You know, so I don't deter your artistic visions or something. I think I'm actually smiling, and I don't even bother to hide it. Victoria just clicks her tongue and rolling her eyes. Please. You couldn't even if you tried. Before I can respond again. This is it. Before Victoria stops in front of a particular shop, only before I'm able to get a good look at it, she's already heading inside. So I don't stand outside like a total dork. I follow her inside with all the grace of a newborn fawn. Instantly, I'm a little surprised. I was expecting she'd bring me to some really glamorous shop, someplace with all those glittering shirts and her oppressive atmosphere. Oh, hello, Madam Victoria. Kiss kiss. Pleasure to see you. Actually, just to take your huge loads of wads of cash. I smile lamely at the dorky thought. Unfortunately, the place looks totally normal. Wait, crap. Okay. I'm actually starting to think I can afford this stuff. Until I take one look at the price tag of a shirt, and I honestly feel my heart stop. Whoa. I don't think... Oh God, don't give yourself a heart attack. Victoria comes over to me just to swat my hand away from the nicely pressed shirt. I press my clammy hands against my jeans. Victoria, I seriously don't think I can, And I'm telling you not to give yourself a heart attack. Chill out. Victoria sighs, ignoring my minor panic, returning to the display table again. Do you like beige or white? What? I'm not doing a very good job at holding myself together, and Victoria frowns at me. She has to come to me again. Just to grab my wrist, guiding me over to the rack she'd been so heavily inspecting. These, Max. Do you want to try them in beige or white? When I look again, she's holding a pair of white jeans and a pair of beige jeans. I hadn't even noticed she'd let go of my hand. I don't know. I don't really know a lot about fashion. You kind of said that yourself. Victoria smirks a little. I did, and I was right. Still, I thought you'd like to pick something yourself. What do you think? I'm sure I can work with whatever awful option you choose. Thanks, Victoria. That's flattering. I feel really confident about my decision. Victoria hums softly and gestures to them again. I really had to pick something, huh? I'll do the beige. Beige, I guess? I actually don't sound too sure of myself there. Beige reminds me of those work pants, the ones you see on really old teachers. Victoria raises a brow. Beige? Really, Max? You're not even you sound sure of yourself. I shrug my shoulders. White just seems kind of out there. It's not. I'll show you. She puts the beige pants down and I'm pretty relieved. Hold on to this. Before she even finishes her sentence, she's already shoving the jeans into my arms. If you're going with white jeans, you'd look good with a white shirt. Not plain though, striped. You'd look fucking awful if you wore plain white on white. Victoria is walking through the aisles like she's a queen, and this is her palace. I wouldn't have thought about it before, except now I see. She's kind of amazing. She really knows her stuff, and she seems so passionate about this. It's actually nice to see her so in her zone. To watch the way she struts around the store, shifting through clothing with this kind of silent ferocity, lips set into a determined grimace. Do you ever take off that stupid hoodie? Victoria turns to me with a flick of her wrist, and I straighten up a little. No, not really. Of course not. I just needed to know so I could pick out a cardigan for you too. A cardigan? Yes, a cardigan to throw over the shirt. Your attire needs a splash of color. Otherwise it won't catch anyone's eye. Crimson or violet? Violet. I respond with a lot less hesitation, this time around. Victoria finally focuses on me again. She opens her mouth to say something, and then stops. A whole other second passes, and then she promptly turns. Violet, of course. Violet, of course. It'd look better on you anyways. Crimson is too powerful. Too commanding. Victoria mutters underneath her breath, starting to head over to the counter. Wait. You're paying? Obviously. Wonderful observation, Obviously. Wonderful observation, Max. There's no way I can actually let her do that. Don't. Seriously. You'll give me a headache. If you want, you can just go wait outside. Victoria stares at her nails, tone firm, and I already know this is a battle I've lost. I'm kind of dizzy. She's paying for me. Even though I want to argue more, I decide it's probably better to take her up on her offer. So I hand the jeans to her and leave before we can discuss a scene by arguing or something. Before we cause a scene by arguing or something. As soon as I'm out, though, I actually feel kind of worried. I feel like I should pay her back, even if it's with something small. Maybe I can get her something from across the street. I heard they have a pretty sweet shop there. I've only got so long before she comes out. So I duck into the shop, and I'm totally stumped. What should I get for her? I remember the game. She likes the figurines. I don't know a lot about anime, but I swear that one time I snuck into Victoria's room for Dana's sake. I saw some dorky figurine on her desk. I hope she likes this one. I run out of the store just in time to see Victoria exit. Jamming the gift into my bag, I cross the street to meet up with her again. I almost thought you bailed on me. You're kind of my ride home, Victoria. I can't exactly run and leave. Victoria's irritated expression caves, and I breathe easy. My stomach also grumbles again, surprising us both. Instinctively, I blush again, and I find myself grinning sheepishly in her direction at the shocked little glance she's giving me. No, not that I'm not having fun, but I'm totally ready to nosh on something. What do you want to eat? Wait, you want me to pick? Max, stop questioning Victoria. Just do it. Oops, I must have come out more shocked than I thought. Victoria is full of surprises today, so I can't help it. I wouldn't be asking if I didn't. She scowls at me lightly and crosses her arms, the bag shifting on them. Just pick already, won't you? There's something about the way she says it that leaves me feeling warm, and I rub my own arm nervously, leaning back on my heels. Well, I know this place down the block. They make some pretty cool crepes. Victoria presses her lips together, and then nods slowly. Fine, whatever. Lead the way. For the first time this morning, I do. By the time Victoria pulls into the Blackwell parking lot, it's already nighttime. Which means we spent pretty much the whole day together. That's actually pretty weird. I mean, it's not every day you get to hang out with the Queen Bee of Blackwell. With absolutely no problems or anything, I actually had a really nice time. Shopping with Victoria was still pretty grueling on my poor heart. And my wallet, But aside from Victoria's gift, it's not like I brought anything pricey. Victoria made sure of that. Just thinking about it makes me feel a little off, but not in a bad way. Kind of in a really confused way. Or really worried, mostly for Victoria's health. She wouldn't normally shop for a beat-down hipster, would she? But the more time I spend with her, the more I see she's not as terrible as she fronts. As she parks the car, I peer over at her. She's tapping her nails against the steering wheel, seeming a little distracted. Or maybe not really distracted, just more like lost in her thoughts. Maybe she's thinking along the same lines as I am. For once, we might be on the same page. No, really, we might be. Because now that I'm listening to whatever's coming out of the radio. Oh god, really? Is that Sid Matters? You actually listen to them? What? Victoria straightens a little in her seat, glancing over at me. So she was distracted. Nothing. Just surprised you listened to that. That's awesome. We actually have a breaking of the fourth wall. I love it. Aren't they a little hipster for you? I can't help but take the opportunity to tease her. It feels right, even if Victoria could probably tear into me at any given second. Victoria stares at me and then huffs. Watch yourself, Max. I'm just saying. I listen to it, and I'm kind of a hipster. At least according to you and all your other Vortex Club friends. You mean friends? Sure, Victoria. Victoria narrows her eyes. It's almost fun to rile Victoria up. She gets super defensive, fishing for the best insults. Well, usually. Lately, I feel like she's been toning it down. First off, you're not kind of a hipster. You are one. Don't compare me to a spectacle like you. Secondly, the door's open, Feel free to get out, because it's not like I'm keeping you trapped in here. That's true, but I can't really go yet. Not until I give her this present. I know, I have a really good reason for not leaving yet. Unless you're kicking me out. Victoria furrows her brows and then turns to me, interested. I'm actually not. So is that an invitation to stay? I rub at the back of my neck. For some reason, the question makes me nervous. It's probably just because I still have to give her gift. I don't even know if she's going to actually like it. Victoria stares at me and rolls her head to the side. I guess. But before I have to deal with whatever nonsense you're going to come up with, Max, let me get at least a little comfortable. I don't entirely understand what she means by that until she leans forward, pressing down on some button in her car. Oh. I breathe out in some half-surprised exhale as the roof of Victoria's car literally starts sliding back, exposing the night sky to us alongside the gleam of the parking lot lights. I crane my neck back to watch the rest of the convertible ceiling roll back, feeling almost stupid that I didn't notice it before. Of course Victoria would have something super fancy like this. Yeah, she probably owns like a Porsche or something. It stops with a click, and I blink a few times. Shaking my head, I look back at Victoria. I don't know when she got them out, but now she's holding a carton of cigarettes and halfway down to pick one. Don't sound so surprised. Sorry, you just kind of caught me off guard. Victoria gives me a small laugh, a half scoff. Most people are. All she does is light up her cigarette, taking a long drag off of it. Victoria reaches next to her and, oh, she's bringing the seat back just so she can lay down. She looks so comfortable, it's almost surprising, and I'm left wondering if I should do the same or not. If you're going to stay, don't just sit there like a dork. She gestures to my seat, and I carefully follow suit, my hands fumbling to find the lever to push the seat back. Before I can get comfortable, though, she clears her throat. And just make sure no one is coming or something. What? You can't be seen with me? She smirks. Maybe. I roll my eyes, but I'm not exactly too offended. Leaning up on my elbow, I check for any familiar figures in the surrounding area. It's just us. I don't see anyone out there, not even one of the security guards, which is probably for the best. I don't exactly need David grilling me about this. Even though I'm not entirely offended, it still makes me wonder. Am I seriously that bad? I frown, rubbing at my arm. I kind of feel like I haven't really been too on par with Victoria today. It hasn't been too terrible, but I definitely feel like I could be doing better. What? Victoria hesitates. Ugh, God, don't get like that on me. If it makes you feel better, you're shockingly not as terrible as those god-awful selfies you take. If it doesn't make me feel any better, I groan quietly. Thanks. After I'm confident that no one is milling around, I settle back down against this leather seat, flopping onto my back. The coast is totally clear. Victoria hums with approval. Since I got nowhere to put my hands, I rest them both on my stomach, staring up blankly at the sky. So, are you going to let me in on whatever you're planning? I stiffen up slightly, biting my lip at the reminder of the gift in my bag. I wasn't expecting you to actually remember. Are you kidding me? My memory isn't that awful. I slide one of my hands over to my bag, shrugging weakly. Yeah, but my gift probably is. The thought is kind of depressing, but Victoria is watching me warily, eyes darting down to my bag. Okay, it's not a bomb, is it? Very funny, Victoria. Victoria doesn't ease up at all, still watching me intently. She even turns to face me, leaning on her elbow and everything. In spite of myself, I smile a little at the sight. So, spit it out already. I guess it's now or never. Not that I really have a choice. Earlier, when we were shopping and you bought me that outfit, immediately Victoria looks a little peeved. Are you going to bring this up again? I already told you. Can you actually let me finish? I cut her off before she can tell me to forget about it, and she narrows her eyes, taking a long drag with no further comment. I got you something. You did what? Victoria seems like she's at a loss for words, for just a second. Even after I specifically told you you didn't have to worry about paying me back? All I can do is shrug my shoulders, fingering the strap on my bag anxiously. I just wanted to say thanks. I didn't really expect that. It was a really nice gesture, and it's not like I got you anything big, just a little something. Victoria averts her gaze, covering her mouth with her hand. Alright, fine, what is it? It's now or never, Max. You can do this. It's just Victoria. I sit up a little to reach into my camera bag and pull out that dorky figurine I managed to find earlier, all neat and boxed up. I seriously have no clue where it's even from. But all I know is that this little girl in the box looks pretty tough, wearing a leather jacket and holding some sort of pistol, I think? Looks pretty futuristic. Either way, I hand it over and Victoria's gone impressively silent. Victoria? That... Where did you get that? There's an odd urgency in her tone, and she takes it from my hand so quickly I jump a little. The store? I saw it, and I thought you liked this kind of stuff, so... Wait, excuse me? You thought I liked this kind of stuff? Yeah? Uh-oh. I have a feeling I'm not supposed to know about this. Did Taylor, open her huge mouth or something? Victoria questions, turning the box around in her hand, and I tense up. I don't answer. Sorry, Taylor. I sent a silent prayer to her. Before I can come up with anything, Victoria just turns and crams the figurine into one of the plastic bags. Whatever. I guess I should thank you for your dorky thought anyways. Huh? Now that the weight of the whole situation is gone and Victoria hasn't kicked me out, I take the chance to press my head back against the leather seat of her car, closing my eyes and resting my hands back against my stomach. I don't hear Victoria move, but that's fine. All I can hear is the smoking next to me, and the radio blaring softly with another Sid Meier's song. This is definitely how their album's meant to be enjoyed. Score. It's oddly relaxing, just sitting here in Victoria's car with the wind brushing over us. I know we're back just at Blackwell, but here it feels like we're on our own little world. Just us and the music, laying down underneath the night sky. Max, it's Victoria who breaks the silence. I don't actually mind it much, really. I turn my head to the side, opening my eyes to look at her. She's on her back now, one arm behind her head, and the other hand over her mouth. The cigarette tucked between her fingers is just about out, and I wonder if she's going to light another one. Did you? Victoria starts to say something, and I see this crease between her brows as it tapers off into an unintelligible mutter. Huh? What was that? Victoria blows out a huge breath through her mouth, all smoke. It's distracting. Never mind. It was something entirely stupid. All that does is make me even more concerned. Victoria doesn't usually censor herself, at least not this openly. I bet it's not. It is. Come on, Victoria. I say stupid things all the time. I think I'm winning, because Victoria's lips form an amused smile at the words. That's a good point. She shuts her eyes briefly, expression falling again. Fine. There's a beat of silence, and Victoria sits up briefly to throw her cigarette outside on the pavement. Did you have a good time? Oddly enough, that's the last thing I expected from her. There's a crease between her brows again that I could have been easily mistaken for concern. Or no, I think it really is concern this time. I almost forgot to respond, the idea making me still with surprise. Huh? That's it? The muscles in Victoria's jaw stiffen, and she shoots me an annoyed glare. What do you mean, that's it? No, nothing bad. You were just kind of acting like it was something worse. This time I'm positive it's not the moon playing tricks on me. There's this flush on her cheeks. It might be from anger, but I'm not totally positive. I'm not totally positive about a lot of things, especially regarding Victoria. Well, yeah, I did. I wasn't really expecting any of that. That's it? There is this dip in Victoria's voice that surprises me, and I tilt my head a little at her. Huh? Victoria shakes her head and says nothing for a second. Forget it. I can't just forget it. It's not when it seems like she doesn't believe me. She has to know I'm telling the truth. I really did. I had a really good time, Victoria. I'm not surprised it's a shock, though. We didn't really used to get along, right? I had to stop myself for a second there. Didn't used to get along? Does that mean we're really getting along now? And it was actually really fun to see you do your whole fashion thing. Victoria is watching me cautiously. Does she not believe me? After a second, I see some tension drain out of her bunched up muscles, shoulders falling back against the leather of her seat. Thanks, Max. I try. No problem. It's worth it just to see how relaxed Victoria is. I couldn't have imagined she'd be so worried over something so small. Victoria finally sits up, though, bringing down her mirror and brushing at her hair. We should probably go back inside before Wells finds us and starts bitching. Or even worse, Madsen. I laugh a little at that, taking the initiative and pulling myself up too. David can be a pain in the ass, yeah. Victoria stops, fixing herself in the tiny mirror. Do I want to know why you're so familiar with him? Maybe not. It's a long story. Or, just a bunch of tiny ones. I could never resist getting into shenanigans with Chloe, after all. Victoria just shakes her head. Weirdo. I don't want to hear about your weird escapades with our security guard. Ugh, don't put it like that. Victoria flashes me another award-winning smirk, and then picks up her purse. Hurry up already. I'd like to sleep by a reasonable time tonight. Victoria is already way ahead of me, taking a hold of the bags behind us, and leaving me to pick up whatever's left over. After everything we've done today, I can't actually wait to get into bed too. As soon as I slip into my room, it's like whatever last bit of energy I had bleeds right out of me. All of a sudden, I can just feel how exhausted I am, shoulders drooping a little. The first thing I do is pull my camera bag over my head, dropping it next to the makeshift little nightstand next to my bed. I throw myself into the bed right after setting aside the plastic bag full of my new clothes. I kick off my shoes, laying down with a long sigh. The back of my head bumps against the wall, craning my neck at an awkward angle. Oof, could you get any less comfortable, Max? Groaning a little, I'm about to slide down a little more when I'm rewarded by the sight of a plastic bag resting innocently next to my knee. Without thinking, I sit up a little just to reach for the bag, pulling it onto my stomach. I seriously can't stress how thankful I am for today. But knowing Victoria, she definitely doesn't want to hear any more of that. That doesn't mean I can't think it, though. I don't think I ever got to get a real good look at them. Between me having a heart attack, Victoria shooing me out of the store. But I know they're nice. Victoria wouldn't leave me with anything less. I pull out the bundle of clothes, running my thumb over the rough denim of the white jeans. Wow. I follow the stitching on them, but since they're folded up, I can't really appreciate it. Which is fine, I guess, because next I'm burying my fingers in the softness of the cardigan. It's almost so delicate, I'm afraid I'm going to tear it. The color is real pretty too, super vibrant. I pull it up closer to me, and I think I can smell some of Victoria's perfume on it. Probably just my imagination. When I pull it up to my nose, all I catch is that new clothing smell you get from practically anywhere. Suddenly, my phone vibrates in my pocket, startling me a little. Get it together, Max. That's just your phone, dork. I drop the cardigan back down onto my stomach, and I dig into my back pocket to get my phone. At this time of night, it might be Chloe asking again if I'm alive. It could be Kate, but considering how late it is, I kinda doubt it. Then again, I'm not entirely convinced it's Chloe, mostly because despite a few texts here and there, she actually hasn't been texting me as much as usual. I wonder why. But I know if something's up, she'd tell me. Anyway, I unlock my phone to check on Chloe's inevitable text. Only to see it's not Chloe. Or Kate. And as cool as it'd have to be Rachel texting me, it's not her either. There's only one person left, guys. It's not even Warren. Okay, not Warren. Who is with his track record of blowing up my phone would be a perfect candidate. It's... Are you awake? By now, I probably should be getting used to all these surprises, but it's hard when Victoria keeps flinging more at me. I smile more than a little confused. It's kind of funny considering we went our separate ways. That, and the fact she's literally one door away from me. And she was the one who suggested we come back in. But she still wants to talk? Maybe she forgot to bring something up while we were in the parking lot? Fine, never mind. It looks like I took so long to reply that she's already sent another text, and it makes me hurriedly tap at my phone. I don't want her to think I'm ignoring her or anything. No, I'm up. I was just uber distracted. So nothing out of the ordinary then? Hey. Please, I'm only telling the truth and you know it. I snort softly. Victoria even has a way of coming off as super catty, even in text. That's kind of impressive. Should I apologize or something? Oh, Victoria, please forgive me. Okay, no, gross, don't do that. Victoria doesn't respond as quickly this time, and I spend a good minute staring at my phone before realizing how lame that is. I shouldn't be focused on texting Victoria anyways. As soon as I put my phone back on my chest, though, it vibrates again, and I hastily lift it back over my face. Weirdo. I wanted to ask you if you bothered to hang your new outfit up. Hang it up? Pretty much the instant I sent that text, I catched on to how dumb the question was. I lift up the cardigan just so I can groan against it. This is some designer stuff. Of course you'd want me to take care of it. Okay, so that's a no. It wrinkles, so you can't just sloppily throw it around like everything else you own. Sorry, I'm kind of new to the whole actually having fashionable clothing thing. Are you gonna give me more pointers, oh wise one? Maybe. Would you take them? I was joking, but oddly enough, the question makes me squirm a little. I shake my head a little to nudge the cardigan off my nose. Would I? I was just kidding, but after today, would it be really so bad? Some of Victoria's gaze. Maybe. Maybe. Would it be worth my time to let you play dress up with me? That message comes out way differently than I intended, and I actually feel my cheeks heat up. Now watch what you say, Max. It would. You'd look presentable for once. You actually have a nice figure, so... Oh, Victoria! Your wardrobe is honestly a shame. Well, screw you then. I pause, sucking in a little breath. Oh, that was surprisingly more genuine than I was expecting. Anyway, that's not what this is about. It's not? So you're telling me you didn't message me just to have a nice conversation about my fashion sense? Partially. I raise both my brows, way more curious than before. As much as I really want to respond, my neck is also cramping up from my position. Ugh. I push myself up on my elbows, leaning against my wall. I'm careful not to mess up any of the Polaroids plastered onto it, peeking behind me for a second before focusing on my phone again. What's that supposed to mean? I wanted to know if you tried on what I brought you, since you obviously didn't get the chance to earlier. That just brings my attention back to the clothes that have fallen down to a little bundle on my lap. Victoria brings up a pretty good point. I frown a bit and put down my phone to hold up the shirt in front of my face. It doesn't look like there will be a problem, but what if it doesn't fit? I haven't, actually. Grown. Of course you haven't. Hey, I was going to wear them tomorrow anyways, so I didn't think I had to. My breath catches a little at her next text. I want you to. Just to, make sure. Not that I got you with the wrong size or anything. Right now? Is that a serious question? Watch, next she's gonna want us to come over to her bedroom in those clothes. Watch. I laugh under my breath, resting my phone down against my leg for a second. Of course Victoria would respond like that. I bounce my knee slightly, and the jeans go up with it. You could always try saying please. Ugh. Seriously? It's a suggestion. In your dreams. Aw, it was worth a shot. You just love wasting time, don't you? Go ahead already. Rather than respond again, I just roll my head back against the wall and prepare myself to get up. I really seriously don't want to. Or it's more like I just want to curl up in a bed and knock out. But now that Victoria's brought it up, I'm pretty curious as to how they'll look on me too. After a good 2 minutes of considering my options, not that there were many in the first place, I force myself to bounce onto my feet, holding the clothes and all. I stretch first, clothing fisted in my hands, and then resign myself to the fate of trying them on. The jeans go first, obviously, then there's the shirt, and lastly, the cardigan. No matter what Victoria said, they're actually not as wrinkled as she probably thinks they'd be. I know how to handle stuff well, too. Sometimes. As soon as everything's on, I step in front of the mirror to check myself out. She has the same clothes as the alternate timeline from Life is Strange. That's pretty cool. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. When I put them on, it's kind of painfully apparent that this isn't my usual style, which is probably the point. But I'm genuinely shocked at how good I think they look on me. It's not that I think my other clothes don't look great, because they do. It's just that these are so different. And Victoria wasn't wrong when she said they'd fit great together. It's weird because I don't feel out of place or anything in them. I feel like maybe I should. Instead, they're comfortable. A different kind of comfortable than my dear shirt and jeans, but still comfortable. I tuck a lock of hair behind my ear, ducking my head down a little and smiling sheepishly at myself. It's only when I hear a little buzz from my phone that I remember I should probably text Victoria back. I take a few steps back to my bed, sitting down while one hand picks at my jeans. I unlock my phone with the other. Max? I'm here. And, they fit. Good. What a relief. I'm not sure how to respond to that, but luckily Victoria sends something again, so I don't have to. How do they look? They look really good. Define really good. They're really color coordinated? Oh god. Okay, scratch that, Jesus, I'll save you the effort. Just put those stupid selfie-taking skills to use. It takes my brain a total of 5 seconds to catch up on what Victoria said, and when it registers, I swear that I almost choke on my own spit. Wait, you want me to take a picture? It shouldn't be that hard for you. Seriously, it's not. I just, wasn't expecting it. Well, I'm asking for it now. Put yourself to some use already. I can't help but bite down on my lip. Suddenly I'm a little nervous. Victoria wanting a selfie of me sounds totally ridiculous. Oh well. Fuck my selfie. Except it's actually happening, and even though I'm nervous, I think I'd really like to show her. Okay, give me a second. 10 minutes. Or is that not enough time for the perfect angle? Real funny, Victoria. I turn on my phone's camera and hop off the bed for the second time. I can never get comfortable for too long, I guess. I'm in front of my mirror again. Without thinking, I lift my hand up to fix my hair. I suddenly feel a lot less cute than I did before, and a lot more self-conscious. Before I can overthink it, I position my phone's camera right in front of me. I've taken enough selfies in front of this mirror to get it right. I think. I take a picture. I take the picture. Or 2 pictures. Or 3. Or 4. Either way, as soon as I snap them all, I force myself to head back to my bed, throwing myself onto it with a little huff. It takes me a good minute to pick one out of the 4 that looks decent. I wet my sweaty hand against my jeans, frowning. I shouldn't be so nervous. Seriously. But I can't help it. I hope Victoria thinks it looks good. As soon as I pick one, my thumb hovers uncertainly over the send button for a split second until I force it down. I rest my phone on my chest and breathe out softly, closing my eyes. It feels like a few minutes pass by, but I can't really tell. I also don't really want to know. It's only when my phone vibrates that I feel another sense of dread, and I nudge at my phone with my thumb, licking my lips and shaking my head. I unlock the phone. You look good. Blinking at the screen, I release a breath I didn't even know I was holding. You think? I knew you would. Even you could pull that look off. I'm surprised by how my heart jumps at that, and I immediately roll over onto my side and shake my head. Oh my god, chill out, Max. I don't even get why I'm freaking out so much, and I run my fingers through my hair. Thanks, Victoria. For, everything. Another period of silence goes by. I wonder if she's thinking of ways to scold me for thanking her again. I told you not to worry about it. We should get some sleep or something. I don't want to have to drag a sleep-deprived corpse around tomorrow. I guess you're right. I tap my fingers against the screen, wondering if I should bid her good night first. It usually wouldn't be a big deal, but suddenly it feels like it is. Okay. Good night, Max. Night, Victoria. Sleep well. While I'm sitting up to get dressed in way more comfortable clothing, I see another text box appear on the screen. I will. You too, Max. I spend more time staring at that last text message than I should. Wow, that was a long chapter. I'm gonna cut it off here. Wow, that was a nice change of pace for Victoria. Tune in next time where we'll be taking our photo since it's now Thursday. My name is Zelda42293. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all in the next video.